Britt, thank you very much for those kind words. As Britt noted, it's my privilege this morning to introduce the Langenberg Award winner, a student who really does exemplify the principles of that award, a dedication to the teaching profession, and a high level of academic achievement. Heather Cook is a UMUC student. She began her education at Montgomery College, and she came here and will complete her UMUC bachelor degree in the fall of 2012. Like most University College students, Heather is a working adult. She's a substitute teacher at Frederick County, where she enjoys connecting with other teachers and administrators, and then in her spare time, she volunteers at local charity events through the Daughters of the American Revolution. Bear that in mind. After she finishes her bachelor's degree, she's thinking of continuing with UMUC's Master of Arts in Teaching program, and her goal is to teach in a high-need area in Maryland. To quote, "I was always taught to give back to the community, and I feel that taking my experience and education to a high-need area will not only benefit my students, but myself as well." It's my great pleasure to invite Heather to the podium for a few words and to congratulate her on her award. I note some things under the podium, and one of them looks like a certificate and one looks like a check. I hope that's true.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to the entire UMUC community and education system, and also to Mr. and Mrs. Langenberg for this opportunity and this opportunity to get this award to help me further my education. Education has always been very important to me, and with education always on the podium, there's people who talk about change and there's people who actually make change, and I want to say thank you for helping me, give me the opportunity to make a change.
Thank you. Why don't you turn it around? Always have to have some pictures. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's now my privilege and honor to introduce our speaker today. John Holdren is, I'm going to take a deep breath, Assistant to the President for Science and Technology, Director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, and co-chair of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, known as PCAST. I would like to see one of his business cards. I wonder how big they are. John is the voice of science and technology in the White House. He holds advanced degrees in aerospace engineering and theoretical plasma physics from MIT and Stanford. He is a member of the National Academy of Sciences, the National Academy of Engineering, and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, as well as a foreign member of the Royal Society of London. Prior to joining the Obama administration, John was Teresa and John Heinz Professor of Environmental Policy and Director of the Program on Science, Technology, and Public Policy at Harvard University's Kennedy School. He was a professor also of Harvard's Department of Earth and Planetary Sciences and Director of the independent nonprofit Woods Hole Research Center. Previously, he served on the faculty at Berkeley, where he co-founded in 1973 and co-led until 1996 the interdisciplinary graduate degree program in energy and resources. During the Clinton administration, Dr. Holdren served as a member of PCAST through both terms and in that capacity, chaired studies requested by the President on preventing theft of nuclear materials, disposition of surplus weapon plutonium, the prospects of fusion energy, U.S. energy R&D strategy, and international cooperation on energy technology innovation. John is working now in the midst of what can be described as a contentious and complex political environment that is trying to deal with a very difficult current economic situation. But our nation's challenges extend far beyond our current problems into the future, both near and distant. There's very little that's certain about that future, except that our success as a nation, and possibly even our survival, will depend critically on our capacity to create and innovate in a highly technical world. There we have very little cause for confidence. Several indicators. The World Economic Forum annually assesses the international competitiveness of many nations. As recently as 2008, the U.S. was number 1. Last week, we learned that this year we've slid down to 5th, and it doesn't look like our prospects for the future are particularly good. We are 27th among developed nations in the proportion of college students receiving degrees in science and engineering. We are 48th in quality of our K-12 math and science education. We're 22nd in broadband internet access. And my favorite, 49% of American adults do not know how long it takes the Earth to orbit around the sun. There will be a brief exam at the end of this lecture. Without promising that John Holdren is going to solve all of those problems, I would assert that there are few, if any, scientists better equipped and positioned to attack them effectively. John, we wish you luck, and we welcome you to our podium.